So the guys at 18 Hockey were nice enough to send me over one of their top of the range sticks. The stick they sent me is their R95, which is their extreme low bow drag flicking stick. The stick weighed in at 132 grams, with a balance point of somewhere in the region of 38 centimeters up from the head of the stick. The stick features a 95% carbon construction with 3K Torre carbon weave and has a J-shaped head. The stick has a really light feeling head, which makes it excellent for using close skills at high speed. It also features a smooth touch compound on the face, which is surprisingly grippy. One thing I will say with it being a smooth touch compound is when I was playing in very wet conditions, it did become a little bit slick and a little slippery, and I felt I didn't have the same grip as I did when it was dry, but largely I didn't have any issue with this. When you're on the ball, the feedback that it gives you is superb. You can feel every touch of the ball, you know exactly where the ball is on the head of the stick. This feedback is really surprising because of how forgiving the first touch is. So when an awkward ball comes in and you expect it to bounce off, it doesn't, it's held really nicely by the touch compound. The angle of the face makes it really good for 3D skills, making it very good for getting under the ball and lifting it over a defender's stick and enabling you to take the ball past them. This can cause any traps to come up the stick if you don't get your hands in the right position though, so you need to be very careful when controlling the ball. Like I say, this stick is excellent for close skills. Because of that feedback on the ball and the light head, it makes it great for executing close skills at high speed and giving you a good level of control, so you can have confidence in a tight D, finding space to make a shot or putting the ball onto a foot to win a short corner. The stick offers good power for both upright hitting and slap hitting. Because of the angle of the face when you're slap hitting, it's very easy to cause the ball to bobble. If you take the stick forward slightly so the head is over the top of the ball when you hit, then that reduces the problem. Because of the light head of the stick, it can make hitting feel a little off when you first start, because of the lightness, and you feel you have to put even more effort in to get the power. This makes you more likely to miss-hit the ball without gaining much power. If you hit with your normal swing, the stick will give you plenty of power. You don't have to try and overcompensate just because the stick feels very light. The power transfer is excellent. Because of the angling on the face, it makes this stick a dream to shoot with. You can easily lift the ball into the roof of the goal with a lot of power behind it. A real standout quality of this stick is the reverse edge. The thickness is great for controlling tomahawks and the power transfer is amazing. Because of the thickness of the reverse edge, it gives you a lot of confidence when playing long passes because you can hit the ball with a lot of power and hit it perfectly flat to the pitch. Because of the control it gives you on reverse passes, you'll start using them with absolute confidence, whether it's playing a hard pass down the line from left back or firing the ball across D from left wing to find a teammate to put the ball in. This confidence carries over to shooting as well. So when taking the ball onto reverse, you'll have absolute confidence in finding a bottom corner or putting it into the top corner if that's where the space is. This is a low bow stick with a shaped head to aid flicking. Taking flicks on is something that is absolutely standout quality of the stick. As I've already mentioned, with 3D skills, you have a lot of confidence in moving the ball over a stick of a defender, but this carries over to playing long lifted passes, whether that's 6 inches off the ground through a gap to a teammate, or lifting the ball higher as an overhead pass. When utilising the stick to take flicked shots, you have absolute control over where you're putting the ball, whether that's placing the ball right above the backboard with a hard flick, or putting it into the top corner. The stick is equally good for lifting the ball on reverse, whether that's jinking the ball up into the air to beat a defender, or taking on a flicked shot. The combination of the extreme low bow and the shaped head really make it easy to get under the ball when you're lifting it. Once you lift the ball onto the face of the stick, you can utilise the bow to generate a lot of power. When it comes to overhead passing, this is an extreme low bow stick, so it's very easy to get under the ball and lift the ball 50 yards down the pitch. Though the stick doesn't feature a groove in the shaft, it is very easy to utilise the bow to add distance to your flicks. It's also very accurate, which is an important part of throwing overhead passes. You can easily put the ball over the defenders into space for attackers to run onto, or drop it to a teammate's stick as they're coming to meet the ball. When it comes to drag flicking, this stick is very smooth. The shaping of the head is excellent for picking up the ball and transitioning it up into the low bow of the stick. Because there's not a groove to compensate for, it makes aiming with the stick very easy. So you can roll the ball back down the shaft and it comes off the end of the head with no deviation, and because of that ease of use it makes it easier to put the ball into the top corner or fire the ball along the floor for a teammate to deflect. One thing I will say about this stick when drag flicking is because of that open face it's very easy to get the ball just off the ground. Now while this isn't a problem when shooting, if you're playing the ball to a teammate for a deflection it can unnerve them if the ball is skimming along the turf. That being said, with a little bit of practice this stick is fantastic for drag flicking, and the ease of aiming makes it a great stick for penalty corner specialists. So the real standout of this stick for me was the reverse. The control that it gives you when you're shooting or playing a pass makes it one of the most usable reverse edges of any stick out on the market today. Combine that with the ease of accuracy for drag flicking, and this is absolutely something that should be on your radar if you're a drag flicker who likes to have a pop on reverse.